In the last video, we went over how to build out a custom funnel page. In this one, we're going to put custom fields together so that we can create our own form and or surveys. And then we're going to put that survey onto the custom funnel page that we created a little bit earlier in one of the next or future videos, right? So in this one, let's create some custom fields. Now, there are already standard fields, and that would be the NAP, or the name, address, and phone number. First name, last name, email address, phone number. There's already standardized fields in the system. You don't really have to do anything except drag and drop those onto your form. But any qualifying questions or a opt-in disclaimer that you may want to put in, then you do need to create those custom. So let's get in there. Okay, starting from the main dashboard, once you log in, on the left-hand side, go to Sites. And up in the top, there's Forms and Surveys. We're going to go to Forms and go to the Builder first. We already have a lot of different forms and surveys in here as templates that you can use. But what we're going to do is we're going to create a brand new one. So add a form and start from scratch. And you'll see it's got name, email address, phone number, or the NAP. So let's add in a custom field. You can add your custom fields here. We already have lots of custom fields available for you. Or you can create your custom fields in another place, which I'll go into. And on the left-hand side, go to Settings. And on the left-hand side, go to Custom Fields. These are organized by folders, so we tend to keep these together if you can. Since this is just a test video, I'm just going to add in an actual folder called 0.0, 0.0 test demo folder, and we'll click Save. But you should try and keep yours in whatever folder you're creating it for. So if it's a Medicare Advantage custom field question, then you would want to keep there, etc. So I'm going to go to my page size down in the bottom, go to 200, and I put that 0.0. I'm going to move that up to the top so I can see it. And we're just going to drag that up to the top there. And this is how you reorder your folders inside of the contacts also. I'm just putting it up here so it's easier to find since we've got a lot of folders and stuff. So here's that. I'm going to click on that, and we're going to add our first field. So let's say we're doing a Medicare and you need to ask them a question such as, are you on Medicaid? So that would be a radio button. It's a yes or no. So I'm going to select radio button and click Next. And this would be 0.0A or 0.1. However you want to do your nomenclature, that's fine. But keep your nomenclature clean, because whatever order these are inside the folder is what the order is that they're going to be on the form. It makes it easier to just drag and drop, and they're in the correct order, right? So are you on Medicaid? And you have your answer, yes, and we have another answer, no. And we might want to add a second one called 0.0B. Are you a veteran? And yes, and no. And then you may want to add one more, and this one would be radio button also. And this is 0.0 C. What branch of the military were you in? And Army, I'm not going to put them all. I just want to show you that you can do more than yes or no. Navy. I know if I forget Coast Guard and all the others, people are going to get mad at me, but I don't have that kind of time. So there we got 3 custom fields. So now let's put those fields onto a form. We're going to go back. We're going to go Forms and Builder. All right, we're back on our form here. Now, I'd like to name the form immediately, right? So this would be 0.0 Medicaid questions. And we're going to add some fields here. So we're going to go to the plus sign on the left-hand side. And here are the standard fields. So we don't want standard fields. We want the custom fields. And you just search it out. So 0.0A. And then you drag and drop. And then the next one was 0.0B. See how easy it makes it if you number it and label it correctly. And 0.0C. There you go. Now, one of the things I should have done is if they answer no to this, well, then this should not be a mandatory field, right? Because either that or just put none on here, right? So how you do that is over on the right-hand side, if you click on this one, you can make it not required. So just don't check this box. All the other ones, though, these should be required. People are lazy. If you don't make it required, they won't fill it out. So just keep those check boxes going because you want to make sure that people fill out your forms properly. The other thing you can do is obviously you don't need the 0.0A in there. That's just going to confuse people. So over on the right-hand side, you can just change that label to just delete the label. Now, it doesn't delete it out of the database in your custom field area. It just deletes it on the form. So it makes it look prettier. So I just delete those labels. If you notice, the label is still there at the top. But right here, the label right there is still there. Or I took it out of the label. All right, so this one is mandatory. This one's mandatory. This one is the only one that's not mandatory. And we're going to make this one mandatory, so that one's required also. And we might want to change the name of this button, so just click the button, and we'll change that to Submit. I believe in the last video we're using red, so let's change this to red. Click on there, click the background, and let's change it to, it's like a kind of a dusty red from what I remember. There you go. Maybe lighten it up just a little bit. It's a little bit too light. There you go. That looks good. And if you wanted to change some of the borders, you got all kinds of options over here on the right-hand side. Okay. There's also a subtext area. The subtext that goes underneath the big one. So click here. If I could type today, there you go. Right, subtext was in black, so we would probably want to change that color. So here's the subtext color, so change that to, let's say, white. And there we got the change color there. There you go. So now our form, let's rename that. Now, the last thing I like doing on all of my forms is adding what's known as a UTM parameter. It's not required, but we highly recommend you use UTM parameters so that you can track where contacts are coming from. So if you just go over to the custom fields and type in UTM, you'll see you've got a bunch of UTMs, and this is a UTM medium, which means, you know, where did it come from, right? And this is going to be a hidden field, so it doesn't matter where it goes on the form. It will not be seen by the user. And then we're going to copy and paste this into, make that hidden and make the hidden value, but we have to delete this little parenthesis off of there. Okay, so just delete that parenthesis and you'll be okay. And now when it fills out, it's going to fill out this field. It'll add 0.0 Medicaid questions, so you know that it came from this form. So I'll put form at the end so we know it's a form. And it will add a note or put it on the person's profile in that field. There you go. So now this form is ready to deploy. So in the next video, I'll show you how to add it to the funnel. Click Save. And we can also preview this. Not very exciting here, but once we put it on the landing page, it'll look a lot prettier. Let's show you that real quick. So before we were working on sites and funnels. Get rid of that thing. And I believe we were working on a basic funnel. Doesn't really matter which one I chose. Actually, it was a brochure funnel. Let's go into the brochure funnels. And it was Medicare Confused. And here's my test. So I'm going to go back to here, and there's that form that we want to replace. And go in here and edit this. And now I want to delete this form, so I can either delete it or just change it. So over here on the left-hand or on the right-hand side, this is the 0.04 Medicare Confused. We're going to rename that to the 0.0 Medicaid questions. And there we go. And we'll save there. That's all there is to it. Now, what I recommend also is on these action buttons is don't use the form from the action from the form builder. Always push it to the next step or to another website. If you manage all of your form activities or actions inside of the funnel instead of on the form, and if you just do it consistently in the funnel, it's a lot easier to manage and remember where you're doing it. What I used to do is some forms I would manage on the form, what would happen. Some forms I would manage in the funnels, and then troubleshooting it just gets really complex. So always do it in the funnel or always do it on the form. I find that if you do it in the funnel, you have a little bit more flexibility. So I do it always in the funnel. Alrighty, that's it for here. Now we're going to go into adding this on a domain and getting this published. Okay.